Thank you for the comments on the previous video. And I got to thinking maybe a little bit of an explanation about my own work history is necessary, since I've been talking about old job stories. High school, I didn't do that well in it. Surprise, surprise. Barely graduated. Technically, when I look back, I don't think I should have graduated. I didn't think I had the proper math credits. I did have an interest, possibly a passion for literature and history, and I did pretty well in accounting. Some people suggested at the time that I become a teacher. Suffice it to say, I had no interest in the job itself or the education that would go into getting it. So for a year after high school graduation, I traveled cross country, coast to coast basically, and I worked a lot of odd and part-time jobs. In retrospect, it was a great adventure, but it did give me the drifting spirit. Something consistent was a passion for writing. So eventually I went back to the East Coast and did get training in newspaper reporting. This was in the late 90s, early 2000s. Hardly anyone had a home internet connection at the time. Being a reporter actually fit the bill for me. That drifting spirit, because there was always something new to cover, even though there was a consistent community councils, municipal councils, that kind of stuff. But there was always something new to write a feature story about. Somewhere new you were driving to go take a picture of something. It was a good deal. Then overnight, people were able to advertise their houses, their cars, and anything else that they wanted to sell for free online. Kijijis, marketplaces, Craigslists, all those places. And like someone flicking a switch, newspaper classified revenue disappeared. There was hardly any discussions about whether or not more newspaper staff could be hired or maintained, or discussions based on, can we keep the lights on next week? Then I made the career mistake. I didn't pivot properly. And that's something a lot of people do in their past or in their present. They have a decision to make. In my case, it was move away to where there still is a news or news media industry that you can be involved in. I was trained for newspaper reporting and photography, but if I had gone to the right market, I probably could have gotten into broadcasting, most likely through the radio. But by that time, I was already settled back on the East Coast and didn't have much of a urge to do another big move. So I found myself in the position of getting any job I could to pay the bills. It was a completely different job market. There were a lot of jobs. They were all around the same pay, just a little above minimum wage, but there were a lot of them. So if the environment wasn't that great, or the expectations were too high, or if there were personality clashes, you just went to another job. It wasn't uncommon for me to rub elbows with people that had worked 10 or 12 jobs in 1 year. In retrospect, there was a whole class of people that just drifted from job to job, and I knew it wasn't good for the job market. I mean, if I was an employer, I'd be as frustrated, especially on the ground level. This constant turnover, always training people that were just there for a couple of weeks, sometimes months. I worked at a lot of great companies for a lot of great people, but sometimes the money just wasn't there, especially if you had bills in the 2010s. Everybody needed more money. There was one company I worked at, great people, loved the job, but there was an opening in a different department that would have been like a promotion. And they said, yeah, you have the skills, but we like you where you are right now. You're reliable there. I'm like, thank you, but can I be considered? They thought about it, and it's just like, no. All right, then I said, well, how about, since I'm so reliable there, and I've been here for close to 2 years, I get a bump in pay to match the increase I would have gotten with that new job. Like, no, that's what the position pays. So whether intentional or not, some companies you can't stay at. So of course, when another job came up that was higher in pay and I knew I could do it, I took off. With experiences like that over a decade and change, my resume grew exponentially to the point where I had no idea if I included my entire work history. I've been with the same employer going on 5 years now. I have no intention of going anywhere. I've settled, but in the good way. Settled down, I guess you would say. And because I've always had a passion in writing, I've delved into publishing ebooks and paperbacks as a full-time hobby. which is one of the reasons why I started making these videos. As of now, I have 2 books published. First one is They Come Out at Night. Second one is Larry's Cabin. Check them out.